Hey everybody, Donald here. You're listening to episode 100 of the General Geekery podcast. We originally recorded this episode live on my Twitch channel, Ryuzaki MK7, on December 4th, 2021. If you want to watch the live version of the podcast instead of listening to the audio version, then you're in luck. Click the link in the description of this episode to be taken over to twitch.tv/RyuzakiMK7 and view the episode as we recorded it live. That way you can get all of the reactions from the Twitch chat that night, as well as all of the fun shenanigans that went down. We would like to thank everyone again for listening to these past 100 episodes, and we hope to do the same to you in the future. So without further ado, episode 100 of General Geekery. What's going on, ladies, gentlemen, all you wonderful people watching live or listening later on, wherever you guys are listening to? Welcome to episode 100 of the General Geekery podcast.
Woo!
This is, of course, the podcast where we love to geek out about all that we love to geek out about with no remorse.
No regrets.
And with all of the enthusiasm in the world.
Indeed.
And we are live for the very first time, as we just said. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we're doing this. As always, I'm your resident coffee ninja by day, actor, gamer, streamer by night, Donald Kaczynski. And with me, as always, she is the artiste magnificente, dice slinger extraordinaire, and of course, our resident video game inept, ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Kubiak.
Hello.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in live tonight, or if you're watching or listening later on. Again, we appreciate it. For this very first real live episode of General Geekery, we reached episode 100. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Holy jeez, it's been such a weird journey to this episode.
Yep. It's been wacky tobacco, alright?
It has been wacky tobacco.
I'm just realizing how much weird stuff I do with my face while we're talking.
Oh yeah, trust me. Whenever
when
I
you're
look back,
saying stuff, I'm like,
Hannah. Whenever I look back on any of my streams and I see and I have the camera on and I see myself like this. Oh my god, the amount of facials that I do, I can definitely see it.
yeah, it's like, what am I doing?
Anyway, for those of you watching live right now, we are giving away one of our merch mugs tonight. For those of you that don't know, we just got our first piece of merch. I'm just going to hold it right up to the camera for you guys to see. The General Geekery logo mug. If you guys want to purchase one of these mugs for your own, in the Twitch chat, type !merch to go to the merch store. Ignore the Streamlabs link. Follow the Nightbot link. And it will have these lovely mugs available for you folks. But we are going to be giving away one of these mugs tonight. We are going to be talking about some great geekery. All you gotta do in the chat is type in the keyword geekery. That's all you gotta do. You gotta type in !geekery. That's all you gotta do. All you have to do. Well, not ! geekery, just capitalization geekery. So, just
capital G, geekery?
like this. I'm just gonna post it in the chat right now. Like that. Just with capital. Just like that.
Just all caps. Okay.
Yeah. For some reason, chat room, we have the chat room right in front of us on the TV, but the chat is lagging.
Yeah.
So
we have no idea what people are saying.
If we don't respond to you guys in time, I apologize. Luckily, I have the chat room right in front of me, right here.
Right in front of you twice.
I have it right in front of me twice.
There's
Exactly.
Four of them. There's the computer. There's a phone. There's a backup phone.
Yep, I have.
Should I get it out on my phone too? Just for the sake of continuity, not.
I have an extra, just so.
Yep, we got 2 entries.
All right, we got 2 entries already. We have a 3rd entrant. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Anywho, let's just get right down to it. Tonight we want to talk about how this podcast was originally founded, we talked about it in the first episode, but it's been such a long time since we talked about it. I figured we could go over everything that we've gone through these past 100 episodes, talk about some of our favorite moments. For those of you guys that have listened to us in the past, if you guys have any questions for us, make sure to ask in the chat. We will answer them as soon as we can. But
questions.
How this podcast originally started, well, honestly, it actually started with this.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, this entire thing. We talked about it on the show before, but for those of you that don't know, hold up, gonna bring her down. All right, this was a painting that when I first met Hannah, I originally we met at a fundraiser for a theater company that we both
You bought my
work
Macker's
with.
artwork.
Yeah, I won an auction for some artwork that she did, and I met her immediately after I got it, and I'm like, can you commission an idea for a painting that I've had for a while? So this was what became of it. And we were talking after that. Not too long, you asked me to be your assistant director for Titus Andronicus.
Yes.
And as we were working on the show, I think we both came up with the idea that we each wanted to do a podcast.
Yeah, well, like, we would show up earlier than the rest of the actors, just in case.
Well, I mean, we were the people in charge, so
we had to be there. So we would show up before the actors, and while we were waiting for them, we would play cribbage.
Games of cribbage.
Yep.
I need a cribbage board again.
If I recall winning every time, but I'm sure that didn't actually happen.
You won a fair amount. You said you originally played cribbage, but you forgot.
Yeah, my grandmother taught me how to play cribbage when I was younger, so like every weekend when I went to her house, I would play cribbage. But then I forgot how to play it, and then you retaught me, and literally the only time I've played cribbage. I've played cribbage against, like, including you, like 3 people who all say, like, I'm so into cribbage, and my family does cribbage all the time, and they're, like, amazing cribbage players. And then for some reason, I beat them all. And I'm like, I don't understand. I barely ever play this game. What is that?
Oh my goodness, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, that does kind of explain our games of cribbage, like, in the past.
Well, yeah, I was like, I don't remember how to play this. Oh, look, I pegged 14 this time. And
I'm just like, what is happening? And it was through that, like, we became friends.
Yep.
And then we both shared ideas of, like, stuff that we wanted to talk about in some kind of format.
Yeah, we wanted to do a theater podcast at first.
Yeah.
And then we decided to just broaden it to, like, general geek stuff.
Well, because a lot of the cast that we were working with, like, we were all nerds.
Oh
like,
my gosh,
every single one of us. Like,
well,
including...
when we were doing the fight choreography for when you and Thomas murdered Robert, and we were like, and he was like, you guys had him on the floor, and you were like on either side of him, and I was like, now this is a tricky position because you're prone and they've got you flanked.
Yep.
We're like, so they both have advantage on you, so you're gonna die. And like everybody in the room understood that reference, which was very, very gratifying to me.
Yeah, that was
I cast this really well.
That was a heck of a show. that was one of my favorite shows to work on. I mean, you had me assistant direct initially, but then didn't one of the actors that originally was going to play like Chiron drop out or something, and then you asked me to join in?
No, I originally just wanted you to be my assistant director, and then basically I was just kind of like, you know what, actually, I think I need him on the cast as well. So
okay,
because like I had you pegged for something. I don't remember what it was now because now all I can think of is the cast that I came up with.
Right.
But
well, I mean, we got a great cast.
Yeah,
out of it,
we did.
So,
yeah. Oh, it was
like
awesome show.
and from that, it eventually took about the better part of a year and a new computer, but and all the equipment came together, but we finally released the first episode of General Geekery around 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've just been talking about nothing but nerdy stuff ever since.
I'll bet if we listened to that first episode, it would be absolutely cringeworthy.
Oh my god, I can't even begin to imagine.
It would be like, yeah, we'd be sitting there and be like, hello.
Yeah. We were so
We are doing a podcast.
We
have no idea what we're saying. So not much has changed. But, we're still doing a podcast and we still don't really know what we're saying.
Well, I mean, we're more articulate in talking about that we don't actually know what we're saying, but you know.
Yeah, I'd say more articulate is a word.
Yeah, because we really didn't have like a set plan or design of like how we wanted to go about doing specific, like how we wanted to structure it. I think we didn't really figure it out until like 16 or 17 episodes in.
Yeah.
Because
you mean like an intro and everything?
Well, like an intro and just like how we wanted to go about like talking like different kinds of like topics and stuff like that.
Oh right, yeah. That
we really started to like settle into a rhythm, and I actually think it was around April. That first April of 2020.
That was our first theme month.
Yeah. You don't
right,
really know
everybody has
what
to
you're
start somewhere.
You don't really need to start knowing what you're saying in a podcast. You just stop caring. I mean, that's fair, but at the same time,
you just stop caring.
I mean, you're not wrong, chat. But at the same time, like we're both professionals in what we do, like in theater and just in acting in general. So it's just like we kind of hold ourselves to a standard.
Professional.
For better or for worse.
Yep.
We
never said that it was a particularly high standard, but there is a standard.
Now I am deceased.
It's okay to be awkward. Some people just have awkward vibes.
And that's perfect.
Yeah, but not us.
We're very outgoing. Oh. Very outgoing.
I am one of the most introverted people I know. Apart from Andrew Kelly.
Oh yeah.
I have to if I don't hear from him for like 2 weeks, I literally have to check and make sure that he's not dead or something. Because
SOS, Mayday, searching for Andrew Kelly. Andrew Kelly, SOS.
Like I've literally texted him before. I'd be like, "Hey, dude, you alive? You want to come outside?"
Oh, these stories. But like I said, it was right around oh God, what was it around? It was right around April of 2020, like when the lockdown first started. Wasn't it
2019?
We started in 2019, but like it was 2020 that we started coming up with the idea of theme months.
Right.
Because we wanted to do like October as Spooktober kind of stuff. But we started the podcast kind of late before we could really take off on that.
Yeah.
And
so we did one episode about like horror movies.
Yeah, we did an episode about horror movies and stuff, which was like one of the first like topic-oriented episodes that we did.
Yeah.
And I remember talking with you, and I was like, "What about Anime April?" And I remember originally you said that you were not as much of an anime watcher back then as you are now.
Yeah, I hadn't seen as much.
Right.
I had kind of gotten into it actually while I was in Scotland on my day off. Literally, what I would do is I would have a whiskey and Coke and some biscuits and watch an anime. So, at the point when we started doing Anime April, I had seen Death Note and I had seen all of Attack on Titan as far as it had gone. Which we did go over that first month. We did, yeah. Yeah, and that was like before the final season premiered. Yeah, because what was it? We both chose 2. Yeah, we both chose 2. Like, I remember clearly that first month, the first episode we recorded for Anime April, and it was actually like right before like lockdown happened. It was immediately before lockdown happened because we recorded both that episode and the Lord of the Rings episode with Thomas and his wife Maggie, before lockdown was initiated. Yeah, that was like almost our last live. Yeah, that was like our last like in-person session for months. Yeah. Oh, I got to say something. So the Twilight on SoundCloud, He just dropped a new album, and it's an absolute banger.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Also,
so go and check it out.
Yes, please go check the Twilight out over on SoundCloud. I also want to thank him for providing us with his track Anime Sunset to use as the intro and outro for this podcast. I greatly appreciate it. It's one of my favorite instrumentals from him.
It plays in my brain for sure.
But that first month for Anime April, we went over the Fullmetal Alchemist series, which that was one of my.
That's right. I think
that might have been my favorite one that we did for that first Anime.
I'm trying to remember if I had seen that already.
FMA.
Yeah. Because when we started the podcast, I'm trying to remember which house I lived in. Because I watched FMA in my first apartment, the one with low leaky ceilings.
Right.
But I don't remember where I lived when we did we started the podcast.
It was, I don't remember either. I
think anyway, it's not
important. But we went through Fullmetal Alchemist that one time because we were like we have Thomas and Maggie over and we're starting on Anime April and you wanted to bring up Fullmetal Alchemist and I'm like, okay, we have to do it while they were there because our mutual friend Thomas does the best impression of Alex Louise Armstrong that we know.
Yeah.
The Armstrong line of alchemy. I miss him every single day.
The strong arm alchemist. My glorious body.
Indeed.
Gosh.
And in that same month, we also went over you chose Attack on Titan and Fullmetal Alchemist, and I remember
because I think I chose them because I had seen them, and
right.
I didn't think that I could binge an anime every week.
And I remember choosing the two that I chose. I remember I specifically chose as shortened series just to help you out a little bit, and they ended up being two of my favorite series of all time, which was Death Parade and Angel Beats.
That's right.
And I actually had a lot of fun with that one. Yeah. Actually, speaking of Angel Beats, I remember putting this on the cover for that episode, but for those of you...
Oh, yeah.
I got her right up here.
Angel Beats?
Yep.
I was unenthused with Angel Beats.
Kanade Tachibana from Angel Beats.
Most of the time. And then, the last 5 minutes had me sobbing.
Oh, those last 5 minutes get you.
Yeah.
They're a real punch in the gut.
Because I was watching it. I was like, I have to watch it for the podcast. And
honestly, you were more intrigued with everything that Death Parade introduced than Angel Beats. That I remember.
Death Parade was really interesting. Yeah. But yeah, I recently rewatched Death Parade actually, and the same parts always get me.
Every single.
Yeah, and that episode where what's her name? We don't really know her name. The girl.
The girl in black. We figured out her name at the end, but I don't remember her name off the top of my head.
Yeah, the girl in black.
Oh, I think it was something Chiyomi, I think.
Chiyomi, yeah, and her memories of how she used to be and how she died and everything, and her just realizing how your actions affect other people.
Yeah, that one was one of my favorites too.
And when Deckham had his little breakdown.
Oh, Deckham.
He was like, because they gave him human emotions, right?
Yeah, as an
experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I remember that left an impact on you so much that you actually did an art piece.
I did do an art piece.
I still have it here somewhere.
It's somewhere.
There's so much that I have to put up on these walls. So much that I have to put up on these walls.
I feel like when I die, there will be a museum containing everything that I've drawn that you've commissioned from me or something. There's gonna be half of the museum, and it's just and this was commissioned by Donald Kaczynski. I do not deserve your patronage.
Well, I love the art that you do. What can I say?
I don't know. Sometimes I look back on like things that I did for like loaded dice giveaways and stuff, and I'm like, I can't believe that I actually said that to somebody. That was horrible. It was so bad. But I mean, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But when will you learn that your actions have consequences? Final video.
Oh yeah.
What? I don't think I've seen that, but I'll add it to my list of things to research thoroughly.
Indeed. But yeah, from that we decided, you know, we can continue doing like continual series stuff, which led us into, I think the first one we did was Monster Manual Mayhem.
Yeah, we did that next. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, this lovely woman right here is a huge D&D player. She's actually the one that I pretty much, along with my brother, you're the big influence that got me into playing, because you invited me into the Corsairs campaign that Loaded Dice Adventures is doing.
Oh, Jakester's here.
Hey, Jakes, how you doing?
Yeah. So I'm really into it, and so I decided that what I wanted to do was find a monster in the monster manual, and then compare it to the mythological creature behind it. So the first one we did...
I remember this one, like, you wanted to talk about this because you were so angry with it.
Yes, the first one we did... Let me see if I can... Did I write it down? Because It was about the Gorgons.
Ha! Nerds, ignore all my D&D books. Never! Never fled. Embrace the D&D. Embrace the nerdiness.
I don't know where it went. My Gorgon notes. But anyway, I did about the Gorgon and then the Medusa.
Because there's two different...
And the Basilisk, which are all these creatures that can turn people into stone.
And we mentioned, like, specifically, it was the Basilisk that you did not have a problem with, but...
The Basilisk... Yeah, the Basilisk is like a... In the D&D universe, is it also sort of like a bird-like thing with, like, snake features? Or is that just the,
I want to say yes. I think I remember us, like, signifying that because we looked up images of, like, how the D&D creature is like.
See, this is why I'm surprised I don't have notes, because I remember having visual
You did have visual notes with you. I do remember this.
I brought things for you to look at.
My blind ass.
Yeah, I'm like, here, with your one good eye, could you please peer at this blurry photograph and tell me what you see?
But it was. I remember the other two in particular. Like, you went off on a tangent.
Yeah.
You still go off on a tangent whenever we bring it up.
Yes, because the Medusa. I'll explain this calmly. The Medusa is not the Medusa. Medusa is the name of one Gorgon, which is a sort of a woman with snaky hair that if you look at her, you turn to stone. A Medusa is not a mythical being. A Medusa is one person. And a Gorgon, like I said,
it's
is not a giant stone horse bull thing. It is Medusa. That's what Medusa is.
That episode holds a very strong place in my heart because I've never seen you get so passionately angry.
Yeah, I think...
Maybe, I don't think angry is the right word, but just passionately, like, argumentative.
Yeah.
Against, like, an established thing in D&D.
Yeah,
It was so great.
It takes me some time to get to a point where I can just, speak freely, and I think that might have been the episode where I finally let loose. I was like, okay, here we go, this podcast. I know that Medusa is a something. No, Medusa's the writer, isn't she?
Oh yeah, that's right. You started watching Unlimited Blade Works.
Yes.
Yes. Medusa is the writer in that.
Medusa is the writer.
She's not actually mentioned as that until like the Heaven's Feel movies.
Yeah. I was I was like, there's gotta be more to her, because like she got killed off really quick. Don't tell me anything.
We have to do an entire thing about like Fate's Day Night. Like
Yeah.
I think we're probably, if we don't cover it next Anime April, we're probably gonna cover it sooner.
I'm really intrigued.
Because I think we might need to spend like an entire month on the Fate universe.
Yeah,
like,
actually, that would be a fun one.
Like
Fate February.
next to Nepticon, Hannah plays Fate Grand Order. I don't know. Make her play the story. I don't know.
Oh gosh, yeah. What was I saying?
About how you really let loose with.
Oh yes. Yeah, because I basically decided. I got it into my brain, and I keep it in my brain for as long as I possibly can before I finally realize it's not true. I'm like, all right, and for the 4 of you out there who listen to the podcast, that helps me think that it doesn't matter what I say, you know?
and you're just like, you know what? Forget all of these pretenses and everything like that, because now we are just gonna let loose, and we're just gonna drop this atom bomb.
That is probably the only reason that I mentioned that I used the term penis flytrap in one of our episodes.
My god, I forgot about that. You guys watched Fate Zero before Stay Night? To be fair, I watched the Fate series, like I've been watching the Fate series since the 2006 adaptation by Dean. So I have an excuse.
I'm so confused.
I introduced her to the Fate series through Fate Zero. Actually,
it's not my fault if I did it wrong.
Yeah, no, don't worry, it was my fault. Actually, I introduced her to the Nasuverse stuff starting with this past Anime April with Garden of Sinners.
That's right. Have we only done 2? No, we haven't.
We talked about other anime before, but Anime April's like themed months, it was just those 2. Because one of the first animes we talked about, you actually didn't even finish. It was Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, I forgot about that! Oh my gosh.
Because if we're going to be going back to like old episodes that we need to revisit and like get more opinions on, I really want Ghost in the Shell to be one of them. I remember the big one that you really loved, like when we talked about anime, was Steins Gate.
Yeah. Oh, Fled Beast. If you've read or seen American Gods, just try and unpack that.
Yeah, basically, I remember talking about that.
Yeah, but yes, Steins Gate. I went off on Steins Gate. I loved it. I loved it so much, and you know what? I wasn't even convinced that I loved that show until after we recorded the podcast, when I realized all the stuff that I realized and said during the podcast, and I was like, that's what it is. That's what's happening. That's why he's such a dick.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, it took you like getting it out of your system and just talking about it to like make all that connect. That's how it was with me, like because I watched the series after my brother watched it. Steins Gate is my brother Zach's favorite anime of all time, and he was like, "You gotta watch this. You gotta watch this." And I'm like, "Fine, I'll watch it with you." And we were going like a couple episodes a night until we got to like halfway through when everything starts going, and we're like, so we're barreling through this for the rest of the night, right? And he's like, you don't have work tomorrow? I don't have work tomorrow. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And I was sobbing all the way through for like 5 straight hours. I'm like,
I don't know. I think that one just really fascinated me. I don't know if it really, while I was watching it, I don't think it really, like, I was still alive after I watched that one.
Right.
Like Angel Beats, I was deceased.
She was deceased.
Angel Beats, I was deceased. What else? Death Parade, I was deceased. Like,
I picked some good things to make her deceased.
Like 3 times in Death Parade. There was, for some reason, the one where those 2 random people like play a video game.
Oh yeah.
When he like gives them a hug and says you've both done well.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember us both being like that. We're like, ah.
Yeah. One of the main things that we said we were going to talk about in this this episode was just kind of the different sort of series that we did, and Anime April is the one that's been going on the longest. So
yeah,
yeah.
If you guys haven't checked out the Anime April sessions, go check them out. They have been so much fun.
Oh my gosh, yes, probably some of my favorites. So we watched the first year we watched Attack on Titan,
Fullmetal
Alchemist, Angel Beats, and Death Parade. And then
this past year
we watched I remember we did these episodes virtually.
Yeah, we did 2 of them virtually.
Because we did
Fate Zero.
That
was the one that you guys chose.
Yep.
That was the one that the community chose.
That was audience's choice. And then you chose...
I chose the Garden of Sinners movies. Because I still have a fascination with them. I really want to get them on like physical copy.
Those destroyed me too.
Yeah, they are weird movies to get through.
Yeah. I don't know. I just
Red,
I'm such a sweetheart.
Indeed. Have you ever watched Red Record of Ragnarok? I think that's another one that we need to get through. That's another one that's on the list.
And then
Andrew brought
From the New World.
From the Shinsekai Yori, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you decided, you know what? I haven't watched it yet. We're gonna watch Cowboy Bebop.
That's right.
And I
chose Cowboy Bebop. I forgot about that.
I love that episode because that was your first time watching it.
Mm-hmm. It was one of the best things that I ever did for myself.
If there was one episode I remember us like geeking out more than anything in terms of like anime stuff, I think Cowboy Bebop was like the big one that we did because it was me rewatching and rewatching the series since I was a kid, and then you came into it with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
So having 2 different perspectives on that was just incredible.
I was almost what is the... It's like illiterate, but it's like not being able to speak properly.
I
was like almost
speechless?
No, I was almost like
basically what we are right now.
Very inane. I remember like talking about Cowboy Bebop and all that stuff, and I was like, man, I did not say everything I wanted to say, but I said a lot of stuff. And I was like, the 2 things, Cowboy Bebop and Ender's Game, are 2 things that I've talked about a couple of times on this podcast, and each time I'm like, I did not do it justice.
Yeah.
I want to go back.
Yeah, exactly. And you always kept doing so much like reference back to it. Like I remember it left a big impact on you, and I think what
bell peppers and beef.
The amount of times that we quote that is insane. On and off mic.
Oh man.
It's so crazy.
Bell peppers and beef.
Bell peppers and beef.
Peppers and beef. Do you remember that one time when I had bell peppers and beef, but it was just the beef? You were like, were there bell peppers? I was like, no.
That was last week you told me that.
Yeah, no, I was like, yeah, no. I just cooked a bunch of beef and I've just been eating it.
That was okay.
With a spoon.
That was literally last week you were telling me about that when we were going off to for the Corsair session.
Oh, that's right.
You told me that and I'm just like, what?
Beef. Bell peppers and beef. I'm trying to find it. Oh well. Yeah, From the New World, The Garden of Sinners.
And then Cowboy Bebop and Fate Zero were the 4 anime that we went over for Anime April.
Let me see. What did I say here? I write the strangest things, just like, that aren't really important, but just amused me.
As she puts it, the ramblings of a madman.
The scrawled ramblings of a madman. Look at this shit.
Do you want me to hold it closer to the camera?
No. I don't want them to actually see what I've written.
Fair enough.
These are my notes about Fate Zero.
Like, look at all this chat.
All of this is about Kiritsugu.
Daddy Kiritsugu!
Oh gosh. That character. His transformation. I was unenthused with him at first, but like the guy in Steins Gate, once I figured out what his deal was and why he was the way he was, right. I was like, So yeah, when you understand somebody and know where they're coming from,
yeah,
you love them a little more. But
I mean, plus it also helps out in English that he's voiced by Matthew Mercer. So
see, I didn't even know that like halfway through. I recognized Wendy Lee from Cowboy Bebop because she has a very distinctive voice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because she was Natalia or whatever, his mentor. And I was like, is that Wendy Lee? I gotta look it up and see. And I looked it up and I was scrolling through and I was like, oh,
yeah,
Matthew Mercer's in this. Oh, he does the voice of the main guy. Oh well. Is it Wendy Lee?
I want to slap him for being an idiot and hug him.
Who are you? Who is he talking
He's
to?
referring to Kiritsugu.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Daddy Kiritsugu.
If I had I just had bell peppers and beef tonight, actually.
Just without the bell peppers and beef.
Love him, super depressing. I want to slap him for being an idiot and then hug him. Oh, you know what? You know who was really a roller coaster for me was Karia Matau.
Oh, Karia Matau. Oh my.
Okay, here's what I said about
voiced by another member of the by the Critical Role crew.
And I didn't know that either.
Liam O'Brien.
That was another one where I was scrolling through looking for Wendy Lee, and I was like, huh, he's in this too.
Oh, it's Liam.
Oh, it's Liam.
Oh, actually,
and he's nope. I know this. I know what you're gonna say. I know he's the archer in Stay Night.
Liam O'Brien was the archer in Stay Night, but not for the Unlimited Blade Works adaptation.
Oh.
That's someone else. But also another member of the Critical Role table was actually Shiro. Okay,
yeah.
all right. Okay, so you are watching the Teen Stay Night version.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. So which version am I watching?
If you're watching the one with Sam Riegel and
See, I don't know.
Yeah, if Sam Riegel is Shiro Emiya
Mm-hmm.
and Liam O'Brien is Archer,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably watching the older Stay Night versions.
The 2004.
Yes.
Okay. There is a one that's.
Yeah, the one from 2004 is referred to by Dean Stay Night. It's named after the studio that did.
Okay. I am so confused.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. There's so many different series.
I will help you. I will guide you through this because the Stay Night ones are in particular very.
Now you gotta show me a clip of the other one so that I can hear the voices because then I'll know because these people are voice actors. So I'm like, yeah, they could do that voice. Possibly.
Well,
you know, like...
to be fair, like I can hear it more often than most because like I've been listening to like anime voice actors like since I was a child, and like you hear most of them in like a bunch of different projects. You can kind of suss out like how their voice patterns are. Yeah. Like Bryce Papenbrook, who does Eren Yeager in Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan, is one of them. Actually, in the most recent Unlimited Blade Works version of Fate Stay Night, he is Shiro Emiya.
That makes sense.
Yep.
They're kind of similar.
Kind of. And, yeah. What was it? You just play the visual novel live? No, are you kidding me? I don't want to get us banned.
No, yeah.
So, basically, the visual novel for Fate Stay Night, the original Fate Stay Night, is a little bit graphic. There actually are sex scenes in it. Oh my god. Like, it's an anime series based off of an erotic visual novel.
Okay. Awkward. And that's the time when, like, your mom walks by.
Pretty much.
You're like, Mom, this is my house. I didn't even know you were here.
Like, Mom, what? What?
Every time you watch a sex scene.
That's when the parents walk in.
Your mom appears. Yeah.
Exactly.
Keep that in mind, everybody. But anyway, I was saying, this is like what I wrote about Karia, and it just devolved. So I liked him at first. The way he wanted to save Sakura, even though this was guilt for shirking his own familial duties. Also, the bugs were gnarly and cool. I just love seeing a character who degenerates to a physically horrible condition throughout. When he strangled that woman, I got over it though.
Yeah. Oh jeez.
Yeah, so those are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was just the second year of Anime April. Just imagine what we'll probably go over in year 3.
We haven't done the third year yet. I thought we watched more things. Maybe I've just been watching things independently.
You have been watching a lot of things independently. I mean, you told me you were watching Demon Slayer, you were watching through My Hero Academia, even though I haven't even watched My Hero yet. I know how much of a heathen I am. Go ahead and boo me, chat room. I don't care.
What are you doing, you dumb nerd? You gotta finish watching that show!
I'm trying!
Catch on a train! No excuses! Okay.
And I am deceased. Oh.
Yeah, I blasted through My Hero Academia, and I had to tell the story about my mom.
Oh, that's right. You were telling.
The moment, I watched My Hero Academia. I finished it all. I was like, just thinking about it. Time, just like, oh my gosh, it's so good, so weird, so weird, but so good. And then I went to visit my mom, and I opened the door, and I'm like, hey mom, I'm here, and she like slides into view, and she's like, I am here, and I was like, what? Have you been watching My Hero Academia? And she was like, yeah. Have you? Like, yeah, I just watched the whole thing. And she's like, oh my gosh, I have the second season downstairs right now. I'm at the very, very end of the Sports Fest. I'm like, oh my gosh, the end of the Sports Fest is so good. Let's watch it.
and you were on the way to her house to record for SPLANCHNIC, weren't you?
Yes, I was, yeah.
Oh my god.
So
I remember you telling me that story, and I'm just like, y'all are a bunch of nerds.
Yeah,
and I
was
love
like,
it.
Mom, just when I thought you couldn't get any nerdier, this happened. This shit happens. We've gone to there's this like geek game store in our town called like Wayne's World or something.
If that is true, I swear to Christ.
We stop in there. It is though. We stop in there every once in a while and just peruse, and stuff.
Bakugo's mom is also ridiculous. Chat room, stop it!
Oh yeah. No, well, it makes you understand like why he is the way he is, kind of.
I mean, true. But anyway, about you were talking about.
That was all I was going to say about the.
That's all that you were going to say.
About the store, yeah.
Ay caramba.
Yeah, but that was a good experience. I liked that.
Oh man, that was.
Yeah, so yeah, I've been watching My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer. I finished that too. I am deceased. And I just started watching Stay Night yesterday.
Now, which one it is, I still need to figure out. But we will figure
whichever one it is
out.
that's on Funimation.
Oh god, I don't remember which one.
How can you not know?
Got it. Hey, chat room. Make sure to type in in all exclamations, not in all exclamations, capital letters, Geekery, in order to enter for a chance to win the mug. If you guys have already done so, please do so again. I just want to make sure all y'all manage to get for a chance to win a logo mug for your troubles. But outside of Anime April, like we've started so much other stuff. We did the Monster Manual Mayhem.
Yeah, we did the Gorgon. We did the Banshee.
Yeah.
And the Banshee, I ended up talking about Mothman for some reason. They both herald death, apparently.
Yeah, that was a weird one that we were like, whoa, what the heck?
The Lich. We talked about the Lich.
Oh, the Lich one was really fun.
And then your brother pointed out to us something that we had not realized, that Sauron is a Lich.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember that.
He blew my mind, because he was like in the room when you were recording, and he was like, Sauron is a Lich. I'm like,
that's right, I remember that, because we were recording virtually at the time, because I had just recently moved into, me and my family had to move.
Yeah.
And my brother was home for the holidays. I actually remember this. He mentioned that, and then I'm like, ooh, this would actually be a good topic of conversation, like right then and there.
His life
It was such a happy accident.
His life force was tied to the ring, and the ring survived.
It was just like one of those happy little accidents that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my favorite ones that like we've done. We haven't done too many of them, but I love them when we do it. It's whenever we do movie talk.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Especially like director spotlights.
Mm-hmm. We did Coen Brothers. We did Martin Scorsese.
We did Coen Brothers, Martin Scorsese.
Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yeah, we did do Tarantino. Oh my god. And we were talking about like all the weird stuff behind Tarantino's. Like, so can we go ahead and just talk about the fact that he had Selma Hayek basically put her foot in his mouth?
Yeah.
Remember in that one scene? Like, can we just like address this really quick? That's like, what the hell? Yeah, that was a weird one.
Who's Super Orion? The chat is saying I should know.
I got Super Orion. Oh my. Super Orion is one of the servants in the Fate Grand Order game that I play.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, if you think like the Fate universe, like with the Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night is something, oh my god, it is.
I've watched you stream.
Yeah, you have watched me stream it. Like, there's some crazy crap that goes on.
Pretty much every time I show up, you're playing Fate Grand Order.
It is like one of my most played games on there. I mean, I do love reading story. What can I say? It helps with the voice acting. Thank you,
I got an A- for my report regarding FGL.
Oh, calm down, guys. We'll what soon? Possibly for an Nepticon. Who knows? We'll figure it out.
That would be fun. I was kind of wondering when you were going to bring that one in.
That one's a bit of an interesting one that I gotta set up. Like, I need to figure out the spacing for that, but we'll figure it out. But otherwise, in other
there are demands being made to you on the chat.
Chat room, calm down. What demands are you giving me?
Show her a picture of him. I think they mean
Show...
Super Orion.
Okay, fine. Here we go. All right. You want me to show Super Orion? Okay. So there's two different versions of Orion in FGO. The Super Orion is someone who just came out. He's basically the Orion from Greek mythology.
Okay.
This thick boy.
Holy! He is too thick to live.
Look at that thickness.
He's got health problems.
He does.
He's like a head on a meatball. Oh, man.
Chat room, you shut up. Let's not bring that up. Oh my god. So, outside of like, and also the director spotlights, I love talking about movies. Like, and I love the fact that we've actually gone on and the past couple of months, like we've gone to the theaters and actually saw movies when we went to go see Dune and Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, those have been some of my favorite ones that we've done in a while.
Yeah. Fallen Sky 20 says about Orion, he's literally steroids on steroids.
I mean, he ain't wrong!
He is an archer class, and most of his moves are beating people up with his fists.
Yeah, so is Ashvathamon with his wheel. Duh. It's a long story. Mm-hmm. Many different heroes and god figures from multiple different mythologies, ranging from Greek to Roman to ancient Mesopotamia to Indian myths, and pretty much everything in between. Yep. And for some reason, Thomas Edison is a lion man.
Thomas Edison?
Is a lion man. I cannot make this shit up if I tried.
That's ridiculous. I don't know what the logic was behind that.
Hold on.
Oh man.
I will show. Okay, hold on, guys. I will show her the Prezi King.
Oh man, this guy is trolling you.
Indeed. Doom, calm down. The Prezi King, Thomas Edison.
That's Thomas Edison.
That is Thomas Edison.
It's bizarre.
Welcome to the world of anime.
Oh man. Should we do some Q&A?
Yeah, well, we got the chance. So,
yeah, look at all these people.
Yeah, so chat.
Let's give them something useful to do.
Indeed. and instead of just bullying me on a regular basis like they do. So chat room, if you got any questions about the podcast, please feel free to post them in the chat if you're watching live, and we'll be sure to answer them to the best of our abilities.
We will see them eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, it says.
So, any other like favorite episodes or topics that weren't in those categories?
I think one of the most recent ones that we did, like when we were talking about hobbies.
Yeah.
And this was the last episode, but it's still fresh in my mind. I had that topic on my mind for so long, but I didn't know how we wanted to talk about it. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's just throw the concept of hobbies on the table, and we'll just branch out and just see where it all sticks.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, we all got a bunch of different hobbies. I mean, the chat room's hobby is bullying me, as you can plainly see.
Man. I actually really enjoyed our conversation about Shang-Chi, actually.
Oh, the Shang-Chi one.
Yeah, because we watched it and we came right back here and did the podcast about it.
Yeah, that was a great one because we recorded that immediately after, like you said.
And I was like, I don't know if I want to do just like a reaction thing because I don't know if I'll have anything to say, but it turned out fine.
Yeah, we just talked it out and just like stuff just flew naturally. And we tried to keep it as like spoiler free as we could.
Tried to, yeah.
Tried to. Doing it was a little bit different because we were recording it a few weeks after.
I waxed philosophical in that one.
Yeah, we.
Did you have fun editing that?
That was a really fun one to edit though. I won't lie.
Because you're like, oh, she said this already. She's talking about free will again.
hey, I kept it all in. Like, honestly, you'd be surprised on very little editing that I have to do sometimes for the podcast, unless it's like for like a specific joke or something.
Huh.
Like the one when I did when we were doing like the Hannah's Game Show thing, when I said just future editor Donald put in the Family Feud theme, but you're like, want to get like DMC'd or something like that, and I'm like, I'll just hum it, and then I stopped it, and I actually literally did like a recording of me just humming it.
Oh man.
I forgot what episode that was. That was a couple episodes ago, but I remember doing that, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay, Donald, you made some more work for yourself in the future, but you know what? Let's do it.
Okay, we have a question.
For a weeb question, this is probably an FGO one. What's your favorite non-waifu servant? For a non-weeb question, is there any movie / anime / etc. that you vehemently hate? That is a very good question.
Oh man.
Any movies or animes or stuff that you hate? That is a very, very good question.
Hate is a very strong word. I don't hate many things.
That is very true.
I'll have to think about that.
I know there's some.
I found the film adaptation of Artemis Fowl to be disappointing.
That was one of the ones that I know that you were like the biggest like one against. When we did the Artemis Fowl episode, you're like, I have a lot of strong words about this.
Strong words. Yeah. What's your favorite non? What is waifu?
So basically,
is this to do with those 3 wives?
No, no, kind of.
Waifu-ness.
Basically in anime, like the waifu is, or the waifu / husband, whichever way you take it, is basically like the character that you connect with the most, and you're like, please marry me. And in this question's case, they're talking about the Fate Grand Order game that I play.
Oh. Yeah.
I'll save that for another time because we're doing this for the podcast, and that's a stream thing.
It's a stream question.
That's a Ryu stream question, not a general Geekery stream question. But in terms of like animes or movies that I vehemently hate, that is so. I know there are several. But
it's hard to think of them
in the moment. But that doesn't come to mind. Like, it has to be a movie that like I need. Let me put it in simple terms. It needs to be a movie that I always talk shit about all the time, just in terms of like being very negative towards it because I care about a specific franchise so much. Okay, there is actually one. So I haven't talked about this on the podcast before, but one thing that I watch in Japan outside of like anime are tokusatsu shows. The best description I can talk about tokusatsu in terms of for American audiences is basically Power Rangers.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, so basically masked heroes like fighting evil and everything like that. One of the main big tokusatsu series in Japan is called Kamen Rider, which translates to Masked Rider. Okay. And there are a majority of different series. One of the most hated seasons is one called Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And I rib on this show constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. And I rib on it so much because I love the series, and like I do it in like a constructive way, not in like a very damn the show, everything, I'm just gonna burn it all to the ground.
I like to be able to analyze something if I'm going to dislike it.
Exactly.
I like people to tell you why I don't like it, as opposed to just, sloppily being like, I just don't like it.
Yeah. But basically that. I think that would be a really fun topic to do all this. I love those types of shows. Nice. Very nice. I approve, Flynn. I approve. And opposite of that, though, one of my personal favorite ones of Kamen Rider specifically is O's. That was a very fun season for me. Especially with just the whole like dynamic between the main character Eiji and his sidekick for the season, Ankh, which is basically like a giant floating bird hand that takes over another person's body.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Lot to unpack. I won't force that upon you.
Oh yeah. I have a question that we could answer. It's a fun question.
What's the question?
Okay, it's twofold.
Hit me with it.
What, based on what you're like as a person, what would your superpower be? And then, what would you want your superpower to be?
Oh.
Based on based on the way that I am, I feel like my personality would be some sort of de-escalation thing, like being able to like calm people down, put people to sleep, slow them down, make them calm, like if somebody's really angry, like sort of like a soporific kind of effect.
Yeah, like so basically kind of like a empath.
Yeah, kind of like
an influential empath.
An influential empath, able to sort of
That's actually not bad.
But only able to like turn the knob down on things.
That's actually not that
if
bad.
If there's like rage, like turn it down.
That's actually not that bad of a that's in terms of like real life kind of superpowers. That's actually a really powerful one to have.
Yeah, that's the one that I would like to have. Because well, people have told me that I have a very calming presence.
You really do.
Such a calming presence.
Calming presence.
Yeah, but it definitely would be some sort of like de-escalation, negation, nullifier thing. But what I would want my superpower to be would be teleportation.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have to pay for gas. If I needed to get somewhere, I'd just teleport there. Like if my sister really needed me, I could teleport to Kansas City.
Yep.
And if there was somewhere that I really didn't want to be, I could teleport away. I can't tell you how many times, like, I just wish that my life was like a movie where a scene ends. And you don't have to do that whole thing where you, like, continue to talk, but you're already done talking, and then you leave, and it's awkward. I just wish that you could just, like...
Are we done?
We're done. We're done talking. We have an accord. Goodbye.
Like an instant get out of jail free card. That is like the best kind of like introvert like superpower that you can think of.
Yep. It's kind of like
it's just like get me the fuck out of this situation.
Yeah, get me the fuck out of this situation. Where it's like, this is so boring, or this is so awkward, or this is so tedious, or just like I don't want to talk to this person right now. Before they see me, I'm just not going to be here.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that.
If you turn it all the way down, do you stop their heart?
I don't think so. If it's talking mainly just about like feelings and stuff, so because it
could be physical as well. Because I could put people to sleep.
True, but I feel like if you're more of an empath though, you have more effect on like
the mind,
kind of like the feelings and emotional sensors of the mind as opposed to like the actual physical functions of the body.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way that I see it personally.
Yeah.
But either or, both of them are two very useful superpowers.
I think I could put somebody into a coma, but I don't think that I could stop their heart.
Yeah.
Because it's more about like like basically I'd be kind of like a peace cleric. like you touch somebody and you're like, now go fight, and they're like so zen and relaxed.
Yep.
They're like Spike Spiegel. Just like making it look like an accident. Move like water.
Look at that. I'd want my power to be the ability to stop time. It feels like it goes by so fast. It'd be nice to just take a week off from everything. Time stop is actually a pretty useful one too.
I wish that there was just a room that I could go into and do all of my work, and then step out of the room and no time has passed. Like all this stupid stuff that takes up so much time, like paying bills and.
You want the hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball.
I do not know what that is, but
so basically the hyperbolic time chamber in Dragon Ball, in the Dragon Ball series. Mm-hmm. It's basically a room that you walk into. A day of real life time out in the real world is equivalent to about 1 year inside the hyperbolic time chamber. So 1 day on the outside is 1 year in the chamber.
Oh my gosh, that is terrible. your superpower is giving people depression. Congrats,
bro.
Well, you can't give what you don't have, so. That was.
Geomancy is ruining BTC Ben Cernius. What the fuck? And just like that, I am.
Geomancy and energy absorption of any kind.
Geomancy and energy absorption. That's not a bad one. That would not be a bad one. In terms of like real life stuff for me, well, in terms of real life stuff for me, like in answering your question.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I always find myself to be like a very upbeat and like optimistic person. Like on the outside, I'm very. What's the best way to describe it?
Should you be like a hype man? Would you be the opposite of me?
Kind of.
Is that why we work so well together?
I have a very hyper like kind of energy. I'm very over the top. Like I think the best way to explain it is like I have a very flamboyant kind of approach to things. Like just in terms of personality.
I feel like it would have something to do with caffeine.
Probably.
like if you drink enough coffee, you can move so fast you become invisible.
So if I did have a tribute to it like that, because like I mean there are times where I just like move back and forth, like especially in my job. I think realistically, I think the superpower that I probably would get is like some kind of super speed.
Some kind of super speed? You think realistically?
Realistically.
That's what you would have?
Realistically, I do think like that's what I have, especially for how often I move around, walk around, and just do everything. Because like you wouldn't know it from looking at me, but I'm actually a little bit more of a fit person than what I appear to be. I might have a little bit of chub, but I will say I am more flexible than I look.
Yeah. See, so on the other side of the coin, Ryu gives people heart attacks. Yeah.
Oh my god.
We'll be walking around like saving people from each other, basically.
The power of depression would give them crippling depression in a 5-mile radius? What in the world, chat?
No, I would have to be like, I feel like it would have to either be like touch or eye contact to like turn down something.
Yeah. I think in terms of superpowers that I really do want, that I do want to have, as someone who wants to like be able to help in terms of converse, like especially in like conversation, just like write like a lot of like wrong stuff, and this is really a dangerous one, and I know this can go very, very wrong.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
Something like mind reading or mind control, or
either one of the two. Now, the less tempting of the two evils would probably be mind reading.
Mind reading, yeah, because that you don't actually. Well, it's in the word mind control. You don't actually control their actions. You just know what they're going to do, and then you modify your own actions accordingly.
Exactly. Like mind control, like is very powerful, but at the same time, I personally don't feel comfortable controlling the wills of another human being. That that just doesn't sit right with me. Never does. Mind reading.
Yeah. Because
I work in a industry that I work as a coffee ninja. I work as a barista. Where I have to figure out like a lot of different things like for different people, and sometimes they don't say directly what they really want because words fail them. But to be able to like peer into like their mind and like the most immediate kinds of thoughts where it can be a little bit more clearer, that can actually help.
Where you can like incorporate the nuances of what they don't even know that they would like the taste of.
Or to more accurately read a situation, like because people don't want to really reveal all of the cards, especially if it's harmful to yourself or to those that you care about. So
enough with the heart stopping, chat.
And not stop. We are not causing heart attacks. We do not have a death note.
No.
Calm down.
I will cause comas, however.
Why do I enable you? What even? So
that would be the superpower I would have.
Just causing comas?
No, the de-escalation, calming people down thing. Because that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of low-key have that ability anyway.
Doom.
So that's what I would
Doom's question. What kind of standability would you have and what would it look like? Oh, a JoJo question. Is it because I'm wearing the Part 4 JoJo shirt? Is that why?
I haven't seen that, so this question.
She has not seen JoJo's yet. I feel like we need to. I feel like.
So that one's on you.
Yeah, that one is on me. That one is on me. We'll figure it out. I do want you to watch it. But standability. That is a tough one. Because there's been so many different kinds of standabilities that it's honestly kind of hard to judge. A few moments later.
So we're drawing a blank there.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank there. Basically, almost bruh. I didn't even see the shirt. Yes, she does need to see JoJo. We'll get to that, chat. If not next Anime April, we'll figure it out because I really do want to show Hannah JoJo. Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if this show morphed into just being about anime all the time, honestly.
Yeah, considering how often we talk about it, who knows? Yep.
Anime and other stuff.
Anime and other stuff. General Geekery, more like anime always.
Anime always. Yep. That's the name of the.
That's the name
of the channel in our Discord.
That's the name of the channel in our Discord. For those of you live in chat that want to join the Discord, I will put up the link for you.
Oh yes. What's the coffee link too?
Oh yeah. For those of you that want to pledge to our Patreon or donate to us on Coffee, type in exclamation point. Oh god, which one did I write in the description of this episode? Exclamation point support in order to if you want to pledge support to the podcast, please do so. If you want, we appreciate that point.
Exclamation point support.
Exclamation point support.
In all caps?
Nope, just lowercase. And for
I think I did it wrong.
Oh, don't worry.
There it is. Nope, there it is.
No, that is that's the Discord link.
Oh, that's the Discord. Oh, okay.
Yeah, hold on.
Well, there's something.
Indeed. That's support. That's what it is.
Oh, like that.
Yeah,
okay.
like that. You can't put a space in between.
Can't put a space? Okay.
Yeah.
I just automatically put spaces.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been 100 episodes of Geekery, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't tired out yet.
I mean, I burned out ages ago, but that's never stopped me from doing anything.
I mean, I'm just surprised we haven't run out of things to talk about yet.
Oh, that, yeah.
God dang it, Hannah.
I thought you meant just, like, physical limits.
Oh, I mean...
Because I've had people say, like, Hannah, you're burned out. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm still doing everything that I can do. It's just really, really hard to do it.
That is definitely
Being burned out is where you literally can't move anymore because you're so tired. Like, no.
Yep.
That's not a burnout. That's a breakdown.
Sorry, I'm just writing something in the chat.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. Yeah, as I predicted, most of this episode has been us talking about anime equals.
Well, I mean, a lot has come from that, but I mean, we've had so many different conversations. I think one of the big episodes that was like a big one that meant a lot to me was when we talked about Redwall.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favorite book series growing up. And we don't really get a chance to talk about too much about books and stuff. I think that was one of the reasons why I pitched the author August concept.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun with that concept.
That was good too. I enjoyed Author August. Who did you bring in? You brought
I think one of the ones that I brought in was I know you brought in Orson Scott Card.
I brought in Orson Scott Card. I talked about Songmaster because I talked about Ender's Game already. So
she is obsessed with Ender's Game.
It is one of my favorite books.
I don't think is obsession the right word? I don't know if obsession is the right word.
I wouldn't say obsession. I would say a fondness for it.
Yeah, I would definitely say fondness.
I am fond of it.
She's fond of it. Oh, I remember. I brought in C.S. Lewis.
Oh, right. And I talked about the abolition of man. Did I?
Yep, something like that. And then we brought in Andrew Kelly to talk about Terry Pratchett.
Right, Terry Pratchett.
And then we were talking about our favorite books after that.
Oh, yeah. But, so, hold on, what was I going to say? Terry Pratchett, C.S. Lewis. Oh, yeah. My mom and I, when we do this SPLANCHNIC podcast, we mention C.S. Lewis probably every episode. And for like 5 episodes in a row, we mentioned the abolition of man. So one of our pieces of merch that I want to make is just a button that says, "Ask me about the abolition of man."
There's so much merch that I really want us to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, that one is one of them. I really want to. Oh my god, there's so many merch ideas. So many merch ideas. What's the chat room asking?
What's the worst movie or TV adaptation from a book or comic? Got a wild look in his eye. Oh no.
Where do I begin? Where do I even begin?
No.
Well, I'm pretty sure Hannah would automatically just say Artemis Fowl.
Yeah, that was pretty disappointing.
And the Dune movie from the 80s.
Oh my gosh. Yes. You didn't watch it, did you?
I have not yet.
I'm scarred for life by the sight of the by the sight of the Baron twirling around the air, cackling maniacally. Like oh man, can't believe it.
Book adaptation for me.
Yeah.
For comic, that's so rough. That's so rough because there's so many. Oh my god, where do I begin? I mean, if we're talking mainly in terms of comic books, I think like one of the worst like adaptations in general would be like the first Suicide Squad film that they released years ago. Oh my god, that was bad.
The movie they made of Ender's Game also wasn't the best. For more about that, there's a old classmate of mine who does a podcast called I Don't Imagine Anyone's Listening, where she calls herself a certified internet nobody who talks about what she wants to talk about because I don't imagine anybody's listening. And she talked about Ender's Game because she read the book and then watched the movie and sort of compared them. So if you want to hear more about that, check her out.
I feel like that's honestly like a more fair thing that someone's done than honestly most people will do for the movie, like because that movie was outright like boycotted by a lot of people because of like Orson Scott Card saying something anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic?
He said something very, very he was talking some real trash stuff about like LGBTQ communities and stuff. Like
that's not
prior to the
that's
release.
Not anti-Semitic.
Yeah, I said the wrong thing. I know I said the wrong thing, but I know a lot of people in the LGBTQ community, especially that read Ender's Game and cherished it, were livid. So that's a main reason why the film bombed so hard at the box office. But at the same time, like, you are right, it's not really the best adaptation.
Nah.
It's really not. in terms of other things, it's hard to say.
Fled Beast says, "Are you gay, lesbian, or Jewish?"
Brah. Brah.
Brah.
But I've talked about it before, like on my streams. Like I identify as bi, so like I support everything about LGBTQ. So that's just my personal thing on it.
Are we answering this question?
I'm answering it. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I am none of those three things.
She is the awesome Hannah Kubiak.
Yep, I'm just myself.
I am myself. I am that is. Oh god, now I'm back on Redwall.
Yeah. I would consider myself to be more like... I'm better at being friends with people than being romantic.
And that's perfectly okay.
Yep. That's how I would describe it.
It was coffee.
Coffee. Like, yeah.
The technical term is coffee ninja, damn it.
Are you gay, lesbian, or Jewish?
Coffee.
Coffee.
All right.
Oh, man.
I think we can pretty much wrap it up at that.
Ryu is coffee.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna beat that comment.
No, I don't think so.
Guys, thank you for joining us for live for episode 100 of General Geekery. Going back down the rabbit hole of all these wonderful episodes and topics that we've talked about. And here's hoping you'll be here when we hopefully reach 200. But you know what? We're just glad that you guys joined us at one point or another every step of the way. We appreciate you guys for your patronage, either by donating to us on Ko-fi or at Patreon, or honestly just listening to us rambling.
Yeah. I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now. I bid you all a very fond farewell. Goodbye.
I didn't want to interrupt that. I have to go now.
I honestly
Why
thought you maybe didn't know what I was doing.
I didn't know. I was like, wait, what? I'd like to thank the Academy of Review 3. Stop it! For the love of God. They troll me with that stupid crap. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching everything that we do. If you guys want to check out more from us, the podcast can be found everywhere podcasts can be found. We're on Spotify, we're on Spreaker, we're on Apple Podcasts. If you guys don't have access to any of those services, you can check out the full playlist right from the beginning at episode 1 at youtube.com/Anime Rev Productions. That is my personal YouTube channel where you can find all of our episodes if you want to watch it all from the beginning, like I just said. You can check Hannah out on Instagram at Pythian Legume, and you can also check her out Mondays on Loaded Dice Adventures over on twitch.tv/Loaded Dice Adventures. You can check us both out there on Wednesdays doing Avenaria Corsairs. You can also find Hannah doing the SPLANCHNIC podcast, again, everywhere podcasts can be found.
Yep.
You guys can follow me on social media at Instagram and Twitter at RyuzakiMK7, and if you guys are already watching live on Twitch at RyuzakiMK7, follow me there as well. Hopefully we'll have more live podcasts like this in the future.
Hopefully. This was fun.
Like, this was such a fun, first kind of setup to, test this kind of format. Hopefully you guys had a good time. And don't forget to follow the podcast on social media. General Geekery at Instagram at General Geekery, and Facebook and Twitter at Gen Geek Podcast. So, once again, guys, this has been episode 100. I'm Donald Kaczynski. This is Hannah Kubiak. And until next we see you guys, just have fun, be yourselves, and always remember to keep your geek on.
Always.
First live clink clink.
Click, click.
It feels so good!
That was a good one.
It feels so good! Oh my goodness. Bye guys!